We'll call this meeting to order. This is a meeting of a public hearing of the abatement and dilapidation for the city of Pryor, Oklahoma, March 21st, 2024. We're calling this meeting to order. Item number 3 on the agenda is in the matter of the dilapidation on the property of Blue Quest Investments, LLC, 311 North Kuwaya, and review remodel.
Me, sir.
That's you. Okay, we'll see where we're at with it. Yeah, I went by there today and I looked at this property. You've got a lot of the outside of it's done. I'm going to close the dilapidation case on it.
Amazing.
and let the normal cycle and flow of getting electrical inspectors
Right.
You're doing the remodel, and it looks like you guys are progressing very nice.
Yes.
It's looking very good. Lot looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Mowing season's coming though.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll be on top of that.
Yes, stay on top of it, and I'm going to close this case.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
I do not, sir. Thank you so much.
You betcha.
Have a good one.
Mm-hmm. We're going to close that one out.
Okay.
Cheryl?
Yep.
In the matter of the dilapidation of the property of Daniel James Burford, 1315 Northeast 4th Street, 4th. Hey, I'm doing good, and I was out on your property today, Daniel, and I saw you got a roll-off, and you've got the car hauled out of there. You've got a lot of the stuff that was scattered in the backyard kind of piled up in the corner of the backyard now. The tree limbs and all that?
Yes,
got
sir.
piled behind the shed?
We were trying to do like a compost pile of sort.
Yeah,
I talked to Tony, the neighbor right there,
Mhm.
who used to be on city council, I believe.
right.
He said that was fine. He didn't have any problem with it up against the side of his fence.
Okay. He didn't.
Do I need to
Right.
get that taken care of?
Well, accumulations of tree litter,
Okay,
big round logs like that,
Big round
that's not going to compost.
okay,
If it's not chipped up,
Alrighty.
it's just going to sit there and mildew and then rot. But it'll take, it could take a long time sitting up in the air where it's not having touched in the ground. It's piled up as tall as this is. That's how much is there. You know how much,
yeah,
There's also a bunch of 2x lumber, dimensional lumber,
Yes, sir.
out by the road. It's been sitting there for quite a bit.
yes, sir. We had a trailer lined up to haul that off, and it fell through, and we haven't been able to get the trailer yet.
Okay, all right. Well, and then you're going to have that roll-off hauled out?
It should be gone today. It should already be gone.
Okay, because I went by there probably about 2 o'clock today,
Okay,
and it was still there. So
Alrighty.
you keep an eye on it, if you're paying by the day. There's probably a lot more room in that dumpster that you could have poked stuff in. Maybe you could have got that dimensional lumber in that dumpster
Yeah.
if you had gone by there. But
This-
we're going to get that hauled off. There's still some high grass. There's still some high grass in places. Spring mowing is coming. Weed eat, mow, trim,
yes, sir.
clean it up, and it'll be closed.
I would like to say that the ground over there was entirely too soft
Yeah.
when we were over there cleaning it up, so we couldn't mow anything. It was all super wet back there.
Right.
Backyard was a swamp.
Yeah, when grass gets tall like that, no light hits the ground. There's no evaporation. It'll hold moisture a lot longer than if you have it cut.
Okay.
So the more you get it cut, the better it'll dry out. It will help. But we'll kick it out for another month. I don't think that we're going to tear the house down. I don't see that in your property. Your property is in good shape as far as the structure of it. It doesn't look like the roof's caving in. The doors are all sealed and shut. The windows are sealed and shut. The shed, we need to get a lock on it.
Okay,
You've got something propped up against the door
Yes, sir.
to hold the door shut. But if I was a kid,
yeah,
you was a kid too.
Yeah.
So you know the answer to that. If you can get in it, you will.
Yes, sir.
So let's get that clean as far as securing the property and cleaning. Some of that, not all of that has to be hauled out of there, but there's still some piles of, where you've raked the yard, did good, but it's piled up so high that if you tried to mow it, it'd bog your mower down.
Alrighty.
So, some of that's gonna need to be bagged up or hauled off that way.
Yes, sir.
But, it will need to be done as part of a nuisance case, not a dilapidation case, so that's all I've got right now. You may get a notice from Trent regarding a nuisance abatement.
Okay.
About the high grass trash on the outside and securing.
Okay.
That's the nuisance side of the laws. You have the nuisance side, the zoning side, and the property maintenance side. And this case started out as a property maintenance for demolition.
Yes.
So that's why it came to me. So we're gonna, whenever I reviewed this, and you were notified about the dilapidated structure, it was not just the condition of the house, it was all of it, the whole thing in general. So you guys are doing a great work.
Thank you.
I'm seeing progress. As long as I see progress, you have more time.
Thank you.
But we need to make progress from this point to next month too.
Yes, sir.
We can't just kick it from month to month.
Yes, sir.
Because it kind of looks about the same as it did last month.
Yeah, we are in the middle of remodeling the house that we're living in.
Oh,
So-
so it's which day off do you want to take?
Exactly.
Right. So we'll just try to do what you can then.
Yes, sir.
Make sure there's no debris in the yard and.
Keep the grass
And grass cut and that shed closed up, and you'll be able to get this closed out.
Awesome.
And if you get some of those big logs hauled out and of the tree that had fallen,
Yeah.
the piles of stuff that you have already raked up, all you just got to do is shovel it.
Yep.
And you'll be closed. So you're getting real close, but I'd like to review this one more time next month, and that's going to be on April the 18th. We'll see you back here on the 18th, okay?
Is that at 5 or 4?
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock.
5.
Yeah.
And I'll send a letter to you.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. In the matter of the dilapidation of the property of Anna Aline, care of John Krogan, 216 North Row. And it says that on the note here, we were waiting for the sale of the property to be completed and we'll get a permit to remodel the house.
I know that's been listed in the newspaper, I believe, going through probate, so they may just not be at that point yet.
But it has been listed in the newspaper for probate? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what I've seen, and no one contacted me today regarding it, so,
Let's move it to April 18th and we'll review it again.
okay.
And item number 6, in the matter of the dilapidation of the property of DJ Murphy, Inc., 1200 West Southwest First. We're going to send that out for bid. To have that one building cleaned up and removed. There might be some questions as far as where they need to clean back to, because the entire lot has multiple buildings on it.
Okay,
So,
and I have to list this in the bid packet.
right, so work with Trent as far as the bid packet. All we want is that front building. It'd be, whenever I say front, it would be
That commercial building that was in the front. of that
commercial-
in that picture.
the craft building, yes.
Okay.
The craft building. And it has something about crafting
Okay,
on the front of it.
okay.
And then, in the matter of the dilapidation of the property of Clayton R. Larimore III, 1824 South Ridge, I went by there today, and we're going to close this case.
Well, at the time, I mean, I just wanted to tell you, at the time this was put out for the agenda, I was told that the remodel permit would be purchased, that he would have the check up here to get his remodel permit, and that has not happened yet.
Okay. Is that something Kenny needs to go up, because it's already been remodeled? They put sheetrock in it last week.
Yeah, this was something that I think Sarah dropped the ball on. Because I know he's came out several times to pay for it, and she has not.
You haven't done it. Have you?
I've even asked her several times
Right.
that he's wanting to get it paid, and
Has there been any electrical or plumbing inspections?
not that I'm aware of. I don't,
Because it's behind sheetrock now.
He's upset that it's taken this long to get a permit. You know, it's holding him up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
he's finished.
Yeah,
Well, he was,
They're
he had
paying
told
it.
us he was gonna get a check up here yesterday, and we haven't gotten the check yet, so,
Okay.
so the
Well-
permit hasn't been issued yet. I understand that it's,
Well,
I just don't know where we wanna go with it now, since we
it would.
kind of in this catch-22 of this issue.
Well, he's finished. So the way that in the city of Tulsa, when they would have a remodel that would be completed before the permit was purchased, there was a penalty of double the cost.
If it's
But
error
that's-
from the office, I don't know.
Right, if it's an error from
Yeah.
the office, it might have to be go out, pro bono.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to work, but he's already finished. They were painting it today. They sheetrocked last week. So there's not gonna be anything to really be able to look at. I know that electrical was done on it, and I know some rough-in plumbing was done.
Do
I-
you wanna say something like, we'll close it if the remodel permit is completed by,
Well,
I mean,
when they
we
buy
wanna
a
give
permit, it requires Kenny to go out and look at it, right? You have to go out and see the
we're
work.
supposed to call for inspections and stuff on there,
Right.
and
And that's,
I don't know if Trey was, since it hadn't been done, and he's made numerous times, if he was saying, to heck with y'all,
yeah.
you know, I mean,
Well,
I think he was up here at least 3 times. Now, I didn't know that he was supposed to be up here yesterday, that's the first I've heard of that, but I know that in the past, like 2, 3 months ago, when he
Mhm,
first started
right.
it, when I went out there, did the electrical inspection on the service,
right, on the service.
he was, I know he had been in like 2 times before that to get the permit for that structure,
For the remodel permit, right.
for the remodel permit,
Okay.
and it wasn't ever done. And
Well-
he was told that she'd get back with him. And
Well, let's move it out another month, or give us a little more time to review it. The remodel's been completed, though. And I don't know how we handle it from there. We'll move it to 418,
I'll just say to complete
yeah,
permit and,
to complete the paperwork end of it.
okay.
And in the matter of the dilapidation, the property of Lulu Zaza LLC, 311 Southwest Graham Court. I went by there today, there's been no demolition has been done. And
So we'll just need to go out for bid on
It
it.
needs
They
to
were
go-
given their time to do it.
yes, I was put that out for bid.
Also, what about the storage building,
The entire lot gets cleared.
everything?
Everything, you can't have a secondary structure without a primary. So they could haul the shed off if they wanted to. You know, you can move a shed.
Well, I didn't know about that on the 1200 Southwest First, you know, out there on Murphy's.
Yes,
Is that metal building on that lot?
yes, it's all the same lot. So we don't wanna, that's, the actual primary structure is right next door, the main house. So because that main house is still there, his garage could still stay. But it's the shopping area that they had, little craft store. The roof is collapsed and the siding's peeling off of it. The back door's unsecured and it needs to be done. So we're working on that. But on 311 Southwest Graham Court, we'll send that out for bid
For the whole lot.
for the whole lot.
Okay.
In the matter of the dilapidation of the property of Richard E. Martin Trust, 1002 Northeast Second. And they have purchased the demo permit, and then we went out there, me and Trent went out there and looked at it, and it was done.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're gonna close the case.
All right.
In the, item number 10, in the matter of the dilapidation of the property, or Mr. G's Remodel LLC,
I didn't get a chance. Go ahead and finish, sorry.
317 North Hogan. And Mr. Goddard purchased a electrical permit, and I did go to his property and
Okay,
look.
flip over, if we're, I think the second section of the, you'll see an email from someone.
Yeah, there it is.
Right there.
Yes, okay, could you move this case out to April 18th at 5? And add an interested party as Charles Jennings?
I told him I would be sending him a letter, so that's why he put
Add
his
him as an
address.
interested party.
Yes.
Also, I was gonna let you know on his electrical inspection, he
Yeah.
kind of failed the electrical inspection.
Kind of, okay.
So,
Well,
but we have done, they have pulled some new wires, but not complete, so.
not complete, so you haven't given the certificate of occupation yet?
As of this moment.
No, he hasn't done anything more.
Yeah, he
Okay.
hasn't done anything else.
Very good, well, and we'll review it on April and see where we're at with it. And, item number 11, in the matter of the dilapidation of the property of Donald Moosterman, 213 North Ora.
That's you, sir.
It's getting harder every year.
Yes, sir. I do know that feeling. So how are you doing tonight?
Not very good. This whole thing has gotten me on blood pressure medicine. I'm really, and the anxiety is incredible, and it's just freaky. The guy who was my fellow partner, as it were, was supposed to be here with $20,000, not here. So all these things has got me kind of upset, and first of all, I apologize to the city. I never dreamed that I would be in a situation like this, but
Well, it's all right, we'll get it. We'll
I'm
get it.
so
It's okay, it's all right.
okay.
It's
and,
water, it'll dry.
Okay, anyway, this is the thing.
This is,
Go ahead.
They did get their new remodel permit. They came in this week and got it.
and I think that this one is the one that was just about there to close.
You know what,
Yeah, I think that they put the new garage door on it, they've hung a new garage door, and they had done
no garage on the house.
There's no garage on this
No.
house?
And their trade permits haven't been purchased yet, just the remodel part.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's all right.
I was looking at the wrong pictures. Yeah, here it is, Donald. Yeah, yeah,
Recently, just as an aside,
yes.
the city came by and lopped off a bunch of trees next door and put them all in our yard, and we called, and they were supposed to have picked them up, and I'm not certain that they have picked them up. But the yard was basically free of debris.
Right, the yard is, yeah. And I see that you've got some paint done, and outside you've put a new roof on it. You've got some new windows in, but the trim still needs to be,
Here's the thing, we went down, there's a place in Tulsa, it's called ABC,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to be, quote unquote, the ones that can do it, can get it. And he couldn't get it. So now what do you do? So we've been really fishing in all the waters to try to get that, and I came up with an idea. which is to say, I'd like to take the bottom 2 floors and take them off, and I'll put something that I can find on there and use the metal that's coming off. You can see where it needs it on the windows.
Right.
So that's my remedy.
Right.
And that's, I don't know what else to do.
Well, there's a couple of places in Tulsa I know about, the ABC, and then there's a place called Dawson Lumber.
Dawson's Lumber.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that.
It's in Dawson. It's north of Pine, between Sheridan and Yale.
A little louder.
It's north of Pine, between Sheridan and Yale.
Okay, but Dawson's Lumber, and I'll
Yeah,
find it.
Yeah, Dawson Lumber, and that would be a good place to check to see if they
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah.
They seem to specialize in older type homes, and they reuse
Yeah.
stuff that they can take off of older houses so that they can reuse it, such
Yeah.
as you need. Just, I'm just saying that if you can fix your house however by code it fixes it. But if you wanted to match that siding that's on there, I think that would be the place I would look.
I do. Any
Make it look-
any port that I can find in this storm is going to help me. So,
Right.
yeah.
And I see that, we've been at this a while though.
You've been what?
At this case.
Yes, sir.
We've been,
I apologize.
We've been
Yes.
coming in here for quite a bit.
May I say that
Looking back at the time here,
go ahead.
this goes back to 2022 that we've had an open case on this property, July of 22. At this point, it's not going to get tore down.
It's not going to get tore down.
It's not a dilapidated structure at this
Yeah.
point. You've put enough work into it. It's no longer dilapidated, and I'm going to close this case.
You are.
Yes, I'm going to close this case and let you handle the remodeling. When you buy a remodel permit, it's only good for 6 months.
Yeah, I told them that when they came in. Did you say that was between Sheridan and Yale?
Yes, between Yale and
North
Sheridan.
Pine.
I
North of
swear
Pine.
it isn't going to take 6. If it does.
So here's where we're at. It's been going on for 2 years. I think we've been real good about giving you time.
Yes.
You've been real good about coming in here and being communicative with us, talking to us, telling us where you're at with it. I know that you've got some issues going on to finish it, but that's where you're headed. You're going to finish it, and you're going to do it, with the trade inspector, Kenny. He'll come out and inspect, when you get a remodel permit and you start doing these things that you need to do, just stay in contact with them, and they'll work with you.
Remember, they don't have their trades.
And I would like
They
to.
don't have any trade permits purchased.
Right. So the remodel, and then the trade permits, all of that will have to come into play, and you'll be working with Kenny. Kenny,
Probably Craig, but yeah, we'll
Yeah.
for the trades and stuff.
right, when the trades start inspecting.
Again, the guy was supposed to come in, his boss on another project
Right.
was giving him $20,000 loan, and it was supposed to be here. On the other side is, and I told you this 4 months ago, I believe it was, or like that, and that I expected an infusion of money,
Right.
and we're in appeal on that with an attorney.
All right.
And my money source got turned down for the money he was supposed to get. I'm basically glad there's really not a lot of people here. I wouldn't really want to say this, but I'm footing the bill for 5 or 6 other people and 6 animals in my house, while I live in my apartment next door. It's all the same property,
Right.
and they haven't paid me for a long, long time. And when their case goes through and he gets it, he's going to give me a bunch of money, and I expected that already. And it seems like unbelievable storms of pressure come.
We'll take a little of that off. Now, I'm going to close this case. I'm not going to tear this house down at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I think you've brought it far enough along that it's not in a dilapidated state. It's not taken away from the neighborhood. Just make sure that it's springtime. mowing,
Yes,
at least every couple weeks.
yes,
Otherwise, the neighbors will start complaining.
okay,
And if there's no one there, they'll complain faster.
okay,
So-
will do,
So just make sure it gets mowed every couple of weeks for sure.
okay.
And then we'll, you won't hear from
Yeah.
me. But
Believe
Ken-
it or
Ken will
not,
be
as soon
helping you.
as soon as we wipe up the trades and then just do the cosmetics on the outside, next thing you know, she's ready,
Yeah, and then you can rent it out or flip it or however you would like.
flipping it.
There you go. That
I'm
sounds,
flipping my last flip.
yes, very good, very good. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, and thank you for being so reasonable.
You've got on there to close. That. And in the matter of the property of Schaefer Homes, Ben Schaefer, 407 South Lot. Let's see where we're at with it. Yeah, this is the property that I was, yeah. No, they have, they've redone most of this property and, this is the one that has the brand new garage door already been installed and they painted the outside and fixed the roof. At this time, it doesn't meet the criteria for demolition, and I'm gonna close this case.
He was ripping out floors and redoing.
Right, if he needs a remodel permit, he'll need to get with you, but it wouldn't,
I think he
Taking a
has
pic-
it, doesn't he?
taking a picture from the outside,
Yeah, I think he already has it.
He has the remodel, I don't know about all the trades yet, but anyway.
right, that would be one that
Yeah, we'll check on,
definitely wanna, keep an eye on.
yes.
And in the matter of Isabella Hensley Townsend, 510 Northeast 433 Road, we-
She, yeah,
Go ahead.
she, had called about getting her structural engineer report, and she didn't get the one that was sent to her in the mail, so a girl came up this week and picked up the list of people that we had compiled of structural engineers. So she's probably this week been calling them, so we don't have that report yet,
understood. Let's move it to 418.
okay?
And at this time, we can exit the public hearing and adjourn.